Hi, Mohammed.
Hi, teacher. Hi, mister.
How are you doing?
Thanks. I'm fine.
Okay. So, how's your prep going, Mohammed?
I practiced with the idioms, but with the old idioms, I didn't add new ones of them. This is I tried still with the sounds, the pronunciation of uh, to, te, and has to, have to, had to. Um, I collected some words having the sound t, and tried with them to practice. And task one, I tried with task one, but it was a little still harder to me to change the way I was writing before. It would need some more training to change the way I was thinking about task one before. As in the past, I was just thinking to write an overall thing to describe the figure, each figure. Now I try to summarize them in main differences or main similarities. So it need some other training.
Okay, okay. I do see some improvements in the task one. Um, I'll give you some comments regarding them as well. Okay, Mohammed. This is the plan for today. I'm gonna give you a few more idioms. Okay, not too many. We just want to focus on things that are neutral that can be used in any kind of conversation, any kind of speaking. Um, Also, I'm going to give you some discourse markers. Um, these are ways of arranging the speech. Um, Before you took a look at different ways of how to organize, for example, lists of things like the first, another thing, and so on and so on. Today we're going to look at different ways of directing, the examiner as to what your thoughts are. And I'm going to give you a part two and also focus on questions and give you some questions that focus on the words that you have some pronunciation issues with, and I'll see how well you're doing with that. Um, give you some feedback, and then we'll take a look at your task ones. If we have time, we'll take a look at the relative clauses sheet and maybe take a look at another task too that I want you to diagnose. Okay, so let's get to it. We have all Greek to me. Okay, so this means that it's totally meaningless. You can't understand it whatsoever. Okay, so for some people that could be mathematics. For some people it could be, like health or whatever.
Mm.
So something very difficult for you to understand that doesn't really mean anything to you. Okay, that's something I think you could put into any kind of speaking task. Go the extra mile. So if you go the
Mm.
extra mile, you do more than what's necessary. Okay, so that's another one. We have a gut feeling. So this is like you have a feeling about something, you're not sure why. It's like kind of like a sixth sense or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, you don't really have any proof as to why you have that feeling, but it's just a feeling you have. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Sit on the fence. So if you sit on the fence, you don't take a side, or maybe you don't take action because you're hesitant or something like that. Okay. Um, this could be, in regards to two different positions on something. Could say, "Oh, actually, I'm sitting on the fence here. I'm not really sure, whether this is better than this, or
Yes.
okay." Turn a blind eye to something. So Maybe you know something is real, but you just pretend you don't see it, or you pretend maybe you don't know. Okay, so we could say maybe smokers turn a blind eye to the how unhealthy maybe smoking is. Then we have scapegoat. A scapegoat is someone who takes the blame for something. Okay.
Like what? Like what in context?
In context. So let's say, for example, you say that you were blamed for something. It wasn't really you, but they were just looking for a scapegoat. Yeah. So it's somebody to put the blame on.
Yeah.
Okay. So I give you the meaning and you tell me the idiom. Can I just go through them quickly one last time? Just before I give you the exercise. So we have all Greek to me. Go the extra mile. Do more than what's necessary. Gut feeling. A feeling that you can't really prove, just a feeling. Sit on the fence. To not take a position or to not take action, maybe. Turn a blind eye. Pretend you don't see something, or maybe refuse to acknowledge something you know is true. A scapegoat, someone to blame for something. Okay, meaningless. Can you remember?
All Greek to me.
Good. A personal intuition you get when you feel something may not be right. So it's a feeling you get here.
Gut.
Gut feeling, yeah. So you got a gut feeling there, yeah. Not to take a side. So what are you doing here?
Sit on the fence.
Yes, you're sit on the fence. Okay. Refuse to acknowledge something you know is real, true. Something to do with I.
Turn a blind eye.
Turn a blind eye. Fantastic. Okay. Someone who takes the blame.
Scapegoat.
Scapegoat. Okay. Now, this is what we're going to do. Okay. Now, this time, I'm going to give you a sentence, and I want you to rephrase the sentence using the idiom. Okay. So, just a quick reminder of the idioms we have. All Greek to me. Go the extra mile. Gut feeling. Sit on the fence. Turn a blind eye. Scapegoat. Okay. Let's go to the first sentence. I just can't understand maths. I hate it.
Math is all Greek to me.
Yeah, it's Greek, yeah? Greek.
Yes. Math is all Greek to me.
Good. Right. His wife, this is a great one for Egyptians, yeah? We always have the fights between the in-laws and stuff, yeah? Okay. So his wife told him he had to choose between her and his mother. He only had two hours to make a decision. So what does he have to do? He has to take some kind of action here, yeah? So what did she tell him? She told him you can't do what?
You can't sit on the fence. You should have.
Yeah. So what's that word that we? What's that word that I told you to practice as well? So you can't sit on the fence. You make a decision.
You can't sit on the fence. You have to make a decision. You
have to. Yeah. So it's going to be have to. Yeah. You have to make a decision within 2 hours. But I don't think he's telling the truth. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't think he's telling the truth.
I don't think he is telling the truth. This is my gut feeling.
Okay. Okay. Or we could just say, I have a gut feeling he's not telling the truth.
I have a
Okay.
good feeling he is not telling the
Yeah,
truth.
so it's just a gut feeling. So it's not really based on any facts, but it's just, something inside you and you can't explain it, yeah? Okay.
Mm.
The company was under pressure and needed to put the blame on somebody for the accident.
Um, because the company was under the pressure, she needed to scapegoat someone, or
Ah, um, we could just say they needed a scapegoat because here it's like a noun here, yeah? They needed a scapegoat, so they needed someone to put the blame on, yeah? Okay?
she need someone to scapegoat, or
No, no, they need a scapegoat because scapegoat is like a noun here, yeah? They need a
uh,
scapegoat.
they need scapegoat.
They need a scapegoat
A scapegoat.
because it's in the singular form here, yeah? Okay.
Mhm.
Don't pretend you don't know what's happening.
Don't sit on the fence.
Hmm. Okay. You probably maybe thought of another way of using it. Okay.
Don't
What do you think the person's doing? The person knows what's happening, but is pretending they doesn't know.
uh, don't put a blind eye.
Turn a blind eye, yeah?
Don't turn a blind eye.
Okay. Don't turn a blind eye to what's happening. Yeah, so basically we're telling somebody you know what's happening, but you're just pretending that you don't. Okay. Um, okay. Let's give you one last try. I can't understand maths.
Math is all Greek to me.
Not Greek, Greek.
Greek. Math is all Greek to me.
His wife told him he had to choose between her and his mother.
His wife told him not to sit on the fence, and he has to take a decision within 2 hours.
I don't think he's telling the truth. I don't know why.
Uh, I don't think he's. I've a gut feeling that he is not telling the truth.
The company was under pressure and needed someone to put the blame on.
The country was under the pressure and wanted a scapegoat.
Yeah, and wanted a scapegoat. Or the company was under pressure, so they were looking for a scapegoat for the accident, maybe, yeah? Don't pretend you don't know what's happening.
Don't don't turn a blind eye
Okay, to what's
without
happening, yeah?
to what happening.
Yeah, you turn a blind eye to something, yeah? So the preposition is going to be to. And don't turn a blind eye to something. Okay, fantastic. So what I'll do is I'll send you like a PowerPoint presentation and you can train them, add them to the other ones, the previous ones that you have. Once you've mastered them, then you can mix them up and just practice them randomly, okay?
Okay.
Right. Okay. Now we're going to continue with the discourse markers. I'll give you some new ones, and maybe we'll just take a look at the meaning for today, and you can practice them for the 8th lesson. So I think maybe if you give it like a couple of days, you'll have some time to practice it and show some progress. Or even if you wanted, maybe we could do it on a Sunday, and you'd have some time to work on the idioms and work on the discourse markers, and you could show some kind of improvement.
All right.
Have you booked a date for the exam?
I will, but not yet.
Okay, we'll talk about that afterwards. Okay, so we know that we need to direct the examiner, through our ideas. So we're going to give them some direction as to where we're going with the sentences that we're going to say. Yeah. Okay. So just to remind you that this is like a kind of a requirement for the band 7. So we need to make sure that we are directing the examiner. Also, you need to remember that the examiner might be tired and they might have given like a number of examinations before you. it might be very difficult for them to focus on what you're saying. Okay, so when we use these discourse markers, we are what we call signposting. We're like giving them an idea what we're going to say. This is going to contrast. This is going to give an addition to something. Now I'm going to say something that's not of much significance. Now I'm going to say, so we're kind of giving them an idea before we speak. All right. So here we have actually. So whenever we start a sentence with actually, it means we think that maybe what we're going to say is going to surprise the listener. So we're going to give them some kind of idea that maybe they weren't expecting. Yeah. So it might be like, just as an example, random example, do you like chocolate? Well, actually, I don't. So probably most people like chocolate, yeah. So so if you said that you didn't like chocolate, it'd be like kind of a bit surprising, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Great. Yeah.
So if you start off with actually, it's like, wow, you probably weren't expecting this. Okay. So it's better to use it in a good context than just to throw it in, because sometimes, people just say actually, just as in, they just want to use a discourse marker, so they say actually. I hear it a lot in IELTS. So whenever you have an idea that you think is just like the examiner maybe wasn't expecting you to say that, you could say, use it actually, and introduce it. Okay. So that's a good discourse marker to use. By the way, okay, so you're talking about something, a topic, and then you just want to make like a side note. So you want to say something, maybe it's just a little note about something. You just want to give somebody like a side note. It's not really of, like real importance or significance. So for example, you tell somebody that you went for a trip. Oh, let me tell you about a trip that I really enjoyed. I went to the beach, last summer, and I went in, my dad's car. By the way, which is absolutely fantastic. It's a BMW, has leather seats with a fantastic music, kind of system in it. Anyway, so we're going back to the topic here. So you just like made an insignificant kind of side note. It really gives you like some kind of, of course, it'll make you sound a lot more of a natural speaker if you can throw in some of these cohesive devices in there, which is what we're trying to do with the pronunciation and with the discourse markers, because your grammar's there, your vocabulary's there, everything's there. We just need you to sound a little bit more kind of natural and native. Yeah, this is the goal. Okay, I'm confident that you've reached the sevens now, 7.5. 7 on a bad day. So whatever we can do extra is good. Okay. Mind you, so you're gonna say you said something, and now you're gonna say something that maybe contradicts it in a way, or kind of is a bit contrasting. So let's say, for example, you're talking about the positives of something, then you just want to throw in a negative. Let's say, for example, you just bought maybe a new phone, and you're talking about the positives. It has a fantastic camera. It has really, really good apps. It has some, video editing software, all, the social media software. Mind you, it cost me an arm and a leg. Anyway, and we can get back to the topic. So we were just saying kind of positives, and then we said, mind you, and we mentioned like a negative. So when you said mind you, it kind of gave the listener kind of a warning that, wow, I'm going to say something that, is totally opposite to, what I was saying here. Yeah. Okay. Then we have anyway. I used it a few times here just to go back. So we can use anyway when we want to go back to the topic.
Yeah. After being giving side note or something like that.
Yeah, so maybe you gave a side note, or maybe you gave something that contradicts what you just said, and you just want to go back to the topic that you were mentioning.
Mhm.
Okay, it might take a bit of practice. If you have a week or whatever, I'm sure you can do it. You did it with the idioms in less than a week, so I'm sure you can do it. Also, you can use it to change the topic. So somebody's talking about something and you just want to end that conversation and you just want to take it in a total different direction. So, you know, talking about something anyway, um, you know, totally change the topic. Okay, Mohammed. Um, Now that we've gone through some of the discourse markers and idioms and so on, we'll take a task 2 and we'll do a little bit of pronunciation. Then we'll move on to the task 1s, and hopefully we'll do the defining relative clauses exercise. So let me get the timer out. Let me just get the stopwatch out. Reset. Mohammed, I'm going to give you a topic. I'd like you to talk about this topic for 2 minutes. Here is the topic. You have 1 minute to prepare what you are going to say. You may take notes. You may start.
All right. I'm gonna talking about the way that I prefer to get the information I want, which is the internet and especially the Facebook. This may seem strange to some people, but I think many people nowadays, especially the youngsters, prefer this method because it is firstly an easy method. You just open your smartphone and look at it, and you can know whatever happening in any place in the world at the same time. Secondly, you can look to pages related to the most famous websites all over the world, whether from the USA, from Europe, or national news. I think I use them very often every day, perhaps many times per day. So you may see that using Facebook to get information is my cup of tea. In addition, that when I am using Facebook, I can socialize at the same time, which especially I may be stressed out in the work, and so by using Facebook, I'll feel I'm chilled out, and at the same time I'll know the news in any place. I don't think I use other sources nowadays. In the past, I used to get the news from TV channels and look at some specific channels, international or national. But nowadays, I no
Thank
longer
you.
use them.
Okay, Mohammed. I'm not going to do a normal part 3 today as in a discussion. I'm just going to give you questions that are focused on pronunciation issues that you had in the past. Okay? I don't want really long answers. I'm just targeting specific words. Okay? So give me like short answers, like one sentence, two. As soon as I say thank you, stop and let's move on to the next question. Okay?
All right.
So I'm just targeting pronunciation. I'm not really targeting like fluency or anything like that today. Okay? I'll give
All
you
right.
some feedback after we're finished. Okay. What's something you enjoy doing at the weekend?
Playing table tennis is my cup of tea at weekend.
Tell me things you can do well.
I can do my work well.
Okay.
I can play table tennis well. I can use laptop and internet well. I can do exercises well.
Okay. What were you doing at 3 p.m. yesterday?
And I was studying English. I was studying for IELTS. Then I was playing with my daughter.
Thank you. What type of people annoy you?
People who are asking too many questions that are related to me or that are private or special questions. These people really annoy me.
Okay. What's something that makes you angry?
I think using public transport while it's crowded drives me up the wall.
Why do you want to get a band 7 in IELTS?
I want to get band 7 in IELTS so as to be able to take a medical examination in the UK, in which band 7 is one of the requirements.
What was your first phone?
My first phone was an LG phone. I put it about 15 years ago.
How do you thank someone who does something very nice for you?
I just say to him, thank you.
What's something you have to do every day?
Every day I have to go to my work and I have to write mini radiological reports because I am a radiologist, and I have to take my daughter to the school, and I have to study English to prepare for examination.
What do youngsters do in your country?
I think youngsters in my country are interested in listening to music and songs and playing football or watching matches and television. I hope youngsters in my country will do something better than that.
What are people in their 50s interested in doing?
People in their 50s perhaps are more interested in relaxing at home or preparing for the time of the retirement. I think many of them are also, many of the people in 50s are more likely to watch the news and follow the news than youngsters.
Okay. What do you love to do in the morning?
In the morning, I love to have my breakfast early, and I love to go to my work early so as to finish early. I love to take a cup of coffee or a cup of tea in the morning.
Okay. What's something you need to do every day?
every day I need to study English and to revise the new words I found or I came across every day. I need to finish my work early, to have time to sit with my family, and I need to go to the market and buy some the things that my family needs.
Okay. Thank you. Let's stop there. Okay. Yeah. So just some quick feedback for today. I don't know. Usually you're a little bit more fluent than that. I don't know if the topic wasn't that great for task 2 or not. But anyway, a lot of the words that you were getting, that you were mispronouncing, you're getting better at. There are just, a few that you still, a few sounds that you still need to work on. We still had the because there, okay, and we have the can. I'm going to tell you, you're trying to do it, but you're not doing it right. So I just want to make sure that you know how to pronounce it so that you don't get it wrong. Okay. We still had some of the, like the stressed froms there. I just want to make sure that you have the correct pronunciation for that as well. What do we have? We have after. I'm just going to also go over that, and love to need okay, so regarding pronunciation, we had the because, as I said, that's a problem. We have to try and practice with that because, okay. Then we have, sorry?
Because
yeah, you still got this because thing. You're still saying that. Just a little bit more practice, because you've reduced like a lot of the the words that you were getting wrong. You are pronouncing right, so something is working. We have the can. I think you're mispronouncing it. It should be kun. I can cook. Kun. I don't know how you say it. It's like you're saying con, I con, or something like that with an O kind of sound there. Can you say kun? I can cook.
I can I can
I can cook.
I can cook.
Yeah. Now, even though you might, now you said it right, you're still stressing it, so it sounds unnatural. Okay. So you have to pronounce it in a way that's not stressed. Now, when you get it right, what happens is the word kind of disappears from, it kind of, disappears. So you might say, listen to me when I say it, I can cook, I can cook, I can speak Italian.
I can speak English. I can cook.
Yeah.
I can cook. I can cook. I can speak Italian.
Okay. So let me ask you a question, and you give me an answer. Okay. What's something that you can do really well?
I can do my job as a radiologist well.
Okay.
Do my job well.
Okay. So what we're aiming for is we want this to be unstressed instead of you stressing it and saying like con. Yeah. We need it to kind of disappear from the speech. All right.
And it is kun, not kun.
Yeah, can. Anyway, when you unstress it, it's going to be, you're not really going to hear it that much anyway. Okay. I wouldn't stop on it. I wouldn't say I can like that. make sure that you're completing the sentence. So you don't stop on it. If you stop on something, you have to stress it. But, that's why it's unnatural when you say something like, I love to, like that. It's really strange. So it's going to be like, I love to play. Yeah, so you have to like throw it in the middle of the sentence. You can't like say love to and then use the unstressed form and then stop on it. It just really sounds, unnatural. Okay. So we have the from as well. You had like the from there. I would try and practice with that. Okay, I'm from Egypt. Yeah.
Here the mistake is that I say from, and
I think you're kind of stressing it. Yeah.
The problem in the stress, not in the pronunciation.
Yeah. So I would just say like I'm from Egypt. Yeah. Try to say it with your mouth closed. Can you say it with your mouth closed? I'm from Egypt.
I'm from Egypt.
Nice. Okay, so that's good. If you can practice using from in different sentences. The questions that I wrote were very focused on, all of the sounds that you're getting wrong. So I'll send you them, and you can practice them. You should be able to get a few froms there. I'm sure I had some questions with from there as well. Here we had the mispronunciation of hafta. It was kind of like iftar or something like that. I don't know how you were saying it, but it should be hafta. Hafta. Can you say it again, just so I can hear it?
Hafta.
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 Yeah.
When it is preceded by I and I have, is it I've?
No, you can't put it in short form. With hafta, you can't. With have for possessions, if you say like, I have a car or something like that, you can't say, just leave it in full form, like I have a car, I have to. You can't say like I've to. Oh, but you're trying to use it in short form. Okay, now I understand. Like I understand now the mistake because you were saying it like ifta, ifta. Yeah.
I've.
Yeah, that's what you were saying. I found that a bit strange. So maybe if it's have to, yeah. So you're gonna say like I have to get up very early. Can you say that in a sentence for me?
I have to buy a car.
No. You're still saying ifta here. It's the H, her. I have to.
I have to buy a car.
I have to buy a car. Yeah. So that sounds better. So make sure you get the H there and you're not saying ifta. Okay.
So when can I use the contracted form I've?
Use it with the present perfect.
Only with the present perfect.
And also use it with use it when you have got, because we have two forms. We have I have and we have I've got.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you have got, then I would say like I've got. Yeah. And if you're using like the present perfect, like I've taken, I've been, I've seen, and so on and so on. Yeah. So yeah. Sorry.
The same with he has or she has.
Yeah. That's going to be the same. Yeah. We could say she's got. She's got.
She's got
Yeah.
a car.
Well, if you said like she's a car, it's going to sound like very strange. Like you're saying she is a car there, isn't she? Isn't it? Sorry. Yeah. So we're going to say she has a car. What if we have got? So we could say she's got a car.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that's got. Okay. So then we have the short form. That's fine. But when we're saying have to and has to, we need to make sure that that's, like full form. Okay. Use the short form with present perfect. All right. Okay. This problem, I know you're making an effort to use the unpronounced, the unstressed form of to, which I'm happy you're doing. But the problem is you're stressing it, like you were trying to say can, and you're like stressing it. Okay, make sure you're not stressing it. Yeah. So it's got to be, I want these things to disappear. When I say something is unstressed, I want it to disappear. Okay. So if you're saying like I was walking down the street, so like the was kind of disappeared. I'm not going to say something like I was walking down the street. I was walking down the street.
I was
I
walking down
love
the
to
street.
play football. I love to play football.
I love to
I
play football.
really need to work on my English. I really need to work on my English. But what's happening is you're really stressing on it. So it's like really sounding unnatural. So you're saying, I love to, like that. Need to, right? And last one we had something with the 50s there. It should be like people in their 50s. Yeah.
In the 50s.
Yeah, when I asked you about people in the 50s, I had to ask you another question because I didn't hear if you got the word interested correct or not. It was too quick, so I missed it. So I asked another question regarding that. Okay. So regarding the speaking, that's it. So we have the weak forms, we have the kun, we have from, we have have to, full form, never short, love to, need to, want to, yeah, and we need to make sure that these to are not stressed anymore. We need them to disappear within the speech. Okay.
Okay.
Record yourself as I told you to. Okay. And also, I want some discourse markers. Actually, and I said actually. What did I give you? What did I give you? I gave you actually. By the way, mind you. I think mind you is a good one. Actually, and mind you, I think you can slip them in any kind of speaking task. Actually, mind you. By the way, also, it's like a non-defining relative clause. It's just giving, like some kind of extra information about something, which you know how easy it is to do, yeah? So you're talking about one topic, you just sidetrack for a second. By the way, blah, 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 and then you go back, okay, to, to the topic, maybe with anyway, or something like that. So that's what I want you to work on. And also you have the idioms. So that's regarding the speaking. Now I have to go back to task 1. Yeah. Okay. Task 1. I have a task 1 here. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at this one. Okay. The last one we had issues. The main issues that we had last time were with accuracy.
The accuracy.
We had accuracy, and then we had some issues with organization, because I didn't know like why we had specific information in the body paragraphs. So I didn't feel that you were getting any marks for cohesion and coherence there. Maybe get a 6 as a maximum or something. Here I do have some kind of organization. Let's take a look. The chart gives information on how 3 types of crimes had changed in a 9-year period between 2003 and 2012. Overall, what stands out from the graph is that while burglary crimes were the highest figure in 2003. Now, in the overview, I would stay away from mentioning figures as much as possible. Now, what do we have here? We have 2003 is the beginning, yeah?
Yeah. And
then we can leave this figure for afterwards. When we're reporting in the body paragraph, we could say, for example, in 2003, this started off as blah, 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 blah. Yeah? So I would try and, in 2003, let's continue. So we have the highest figure. Robbery offences were on the top at the end of the period. On the top, maybe at the top. I think maybe you could choose something better from the top. It's like top and bottom. I don't think, it's like that formal anyway for a report. Robbery crimes, however, remained the lowest figure throughout the period of the graph. Okay. So what did we say? We said that we had the highest, okay? The highest number at the beginning, we had the highest number at the end, and then we had the lowest, okay? Another point is that burglary incidents showed the most significant change fluctuation. I wouldn't give the examiner like a choice, like multiple choice.
Just asking that to ask you whether both can be used.
Okay, that's fine. I wouldn't say like significant change. I would say the most dramatic change, maybe.
Dramatic change.
Or maybe we could use the verb like fluctuated the most, possibly. Yeah, among the three figures. I'm happy with that. I'm happy. You know, for me, that looks like you have, you know, the most important things. So I have the highest, I have the lowest, you know, I have the one that changed the most, and the one that stayed, you know, the one that didn't change the most. So, you know, the least significant change there. I'm happy with that. Now, what do we have here? So here we have, what do we have before? Okay, I'm gonna comment on some other things, but I just want to see how you organized it first, and then we'll go back to it. The figure for burglary offences was on top. I'm not happy with this on top. I don't really want you to use this phrase. Starting at blah blah blah. Rank the first till the end of the period, where it was in comparison to which recorded less than 1,500. Okay, so here you are comparing what happened between these two.
Yes, as regarding considering that both of them, one of them was the higher at the end of the period, at the start, and the other was the higher in the second part or in the end of the period.
Okay. Okay, that is logical. Okay. Then we have, what do we have here? I just need to see that everything's like kind of in some kind of logical order. Then we have burglary crimes, which rose a little in number in the first year in the graph, decreased significantly over the following 4-period year, dropping around blah 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 blah. Robbery crimes on the other side. I don't think on the other side. I don't know. I've never heard that phrase before. Showed a nearly steady curve, fluctuating between blah blah blah. Okay, I'm gonna get back. I'm gonna get back to this. So here you talked about the highest here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it would have probably been better, like saying the highest and then comparing it with the lowest. So we have highest and lowest in the same body paragraph. Then we choose here the most dramatic change and the least dramatic change. Yeah. I would miss out even this here because it's not the most dramatic and it's not the least dramatic. What we will need to kind of show the examiner is, I'm being selective here. I am selecting information. I'm not just giving you everything. I'm choosing what I think really stands out here. Okay, so this is why I wouldn't give everything that. So here I think it would probably be better if we had highest and lowest, and we could also mention that, you know, at one period this was the highest and then it became, you know, it dropped. Okay. Yes. That's good. Let's talk about some of the specifics here in the second body paragraph. Now, here you have before 2006. This seems like, like a very general kind of phrase. It's like before 2006. When we're doing reports, we want to be as specific as possible. We want to report as accurately as we can, to the millimeter. Okay. Now, just when you say before 2006, it's kind of a bit general. The figure for burglary offences was on top. Here we have on top, starting at less than 3,500. Now, this is a very, I don't think that's enough, less than 3,500. I don't think that's like accurate enough. Then I don't know what this is, that for stolen cars. I don't know, maybe it's a typo or something, I'm not sure, which started at less than 2,000.
And that figure from.
I think you can be a lot more accurate than that.
Like what?
So let's say, for example, what are we going up in? We're going up in 500s here, yeah? So we have 500, 500, 500. So we know that this is a 500 gap here, yeah? This is going to be 275, yeah? So if I said approximately 2,800, I'll be very close there, yeah? I might be being picky here, but that's what I do. I just want you to be as accurate as possible. I don't like, like around, just under, I'd say approximately 2,800, something like that. And here I wouldn't be happy with the just, under like 350. I would go for something else. Okay. So I would go, this is like 1, 2, 3, 4. So I would say around 3,400 or approximately 3,400. So let's keep the numbers as close as we can. Bloody Bloody Raw ranked first from approximately the 2006 mid-year till the end of the period, where it was about 2,750. The end of the period. You did that here, huh? You know how to do. you know how to do that, huh? Okay, that was more accurate. That was more accurate. See, it was like, yeah. Okay, so that was more accurate in comparison to burglary crimes, which recorded less than 1,500. I'm not happy with random like numbers, just like less than. I want you to be like as specific as possible. Try to be as accurate as possible with that. Burglary crimes, which rose a little in number in first year, in the first year. In the first year in the graph, decreased significantly over the following 4-year period, dropping from around blah blah blah. Okay, good, you're doing it here, to over 1,000. Okay, in 2008, robbery crimes on the other side. I'm not sure what that is. On the other hand.
Arabic translation.
Okay. Now, showed a steady curve.
Steady trend?
I would say like the rate remained stable throughout the period, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know, like a curve is like going down like that. I don't really see much of a curve. I see it more as in remain steady, throughout the period, more than that.
So it's better to say the rate remains steady.
Yeah. I think it's better than just saying that there was a steady curve. I don't think that's accurate reporting. Okay. So overall, I think there was some. I think there was some, good organization there. There was some kind of improvement in that.
So it's better to, for example, to make the first paragraph speaking about the highest at the end, at the start and the end, and the lowest at the start and the end. And the second paragraph to speak about the dramatic change of for the crime and the less dramatic change.
Yeah, of course, these things will depend on the graph that's in front of us, but I'm just saying, I think this is a good logical way of dealing with it. Now, Now, the way you kind of organize the overview, what I like to do is this. I like to organize the ideas in the order that I'm going to present them in the body of the text. Okay, so then when the examiner is, when you're looking, you're going to see, did he mention the key features? Yes. Did he give details about the key features? So we just want to make it like really easy for the examiner to kind of find where your ideas are. Okay. So here we could just say that this is the highest number, this is the lowest number. Then we say this is the most dramatic change, this is the least dramatic change, and we could mention it here. Okay. So then we can just follow the ideas. It's like, this idea is here, and this idea is here. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Here, fluctuating between. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. So we're missing the point here. Now, remember this. Remember this. What I want you to do is I want you to think about the overview like a thesis statement, and it's going to be a reflection. So when I have, for example, here, you're telling me that this is stable or whatever, I want to see it here. Okay. So I want you to, when you prepare this task one, I want you to think of the examiner as saying somebody who's really, really tired. And I really want to make it easy for them. I just want to make it so simple for the examiner to find where my ideas are, the main ideas are, and how they can find them and check them. Because when you write something in the overview, the examiner has to check that the details are there in order for you to get the 7. Yeah? So you just make that process easy for them. It's like, you see here, this idea here, it's here. Yeah? So I need the body to be a 100% reflection of the overview. Okay, I'm happy with this. For me, it seems a lot better. I am just being, a bit picky with, with a few things here and there. Okay, I still think, even though, I have, some kind of criticism about the task that's still in the 7 is still in the 7 range, and that always depends on your look in the exam. If it's going to be 7.5, it's going to be 8, it's just going to be a 7. But I think the accuracy is there. It's kind of enough. Accuracy is enough. The organization is enough for a 7. I just want you to be more careful and make it easier.
By the way, could I say that the figure for robbery offenses, for example, has an overall decreasing trend, or I can't say that because it's fluctuated at some time?
No, no, no. If you say overall, it means from top to bottom. I'm talking in general that it's going to be going up. So this means in general, you're saying it's going up. Maybe it might go down a tiny bit here and there, but overall, in general, it's going up. When you say something overall, in general, it's going up,
I mean that I can say for burglary that it is overall going down, or I can't say that.
it hit a peak. It hit a peak at around 300, 700, 3,700. So because it hit a peak, I would just, I would just stay away from that. I would just, not say anything that could be labeled inaccurate. Be careful when you're looking for the 7. You can't, if you want above the 7, you can't make any kind of mistake like that in reporting. Okay. Right. Okay, we'll wrap up for today. I'm going to send you a summary of everything that we've done today. PowerPoint with the idioms to practice with. Some questions for the pronunciation also to practice with. I'll send you the things that I've highlighted for the task 1, and we can agree on the next lesson by email, so you can take a lesson before the exam. Okay. We'll bring this lesson to an end, and we'll stay in contact by email. Okay, see Mohammed, if you have any questions, send me an email. Okay.
Thanks a lot.